Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday evenings. Of course, this is our regular slot for music in a virtual context at Ardingly. And today we've got the first instalment of senior school music. And I'm delighted to welcome Archie, who's the head of house in Crosse. And we've had a little bit of a catch up just to discuss how he's getting on during these very crazy, unprecedented times. So I'm interested to see how he's been getting on, and obviously all the boys that are under his charge in Crosse House. So hi Archie, how are you doing? How's it been?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a certainly weird and difficult time. It's a complete flip on what most of us do on a day-to-day basis. However, I found that I have more time in the day now, which is sort of a big bonus for me.
And what have you been up to? What have you been sort of doing in your free time?
Well, I've been working on a few projects in and around the house, sort of trying to get in the garden, doing some exercise as well.
Oh, brilliant! So you've been working with mum and dad on some house projects.
Yeah, definitely. I've started sort of renovating a tree house, which was sort of left
Oh,
in
cool.
disrepair sort of a few years ago. So sort of planning to paint that and sort of maybe waterproof it at some point. So hoping this will be a sort of spot which I can hang out in the summer.
And that's yours, not your brother's.
Well, we kind of share it, but I'm sort of doing all the sort of maintenance on it. So I'm thinking of claiming it, hopefully.
Excellent. And we've got your brother's coming to the school in September, isn't he? Is that
Yeah, that's
right?
right. Yep.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. And is he going to be in Cross as well?
He's actually going to be in Hilton.
Oh, right. Oh, right. We'll stop there. We won't say any more about
Yes.
that. Right. And what about generally? What have you? I mean, obviously, this is really surreal, really odd times that we're living in at the moment. What have you kind of missed from your normal routine?
I think it's sort of the social community that the school has, sort of especially within the houses. Normally on a day-to-day basis at school, you'd see sort of dozens of people, all the people in your classes, in house, all the sort of social context. But being at home, you only sort of see the people in your household, which is sort of a bit odd and a bit difficult at times.
And what sort of advice have you got? Have you got any advice for any of the other boys in your house about that at this sort of time?
Yeah, I think sort of I found sort of creating some sort of competitiveness sort of between your friends sort of online. So it was really sort of helped and it's really sort of enjoyable. So whether that be sort of like an online quiz night or some sort of exercise, I think it really helps you sort of staying socially active and sort of connected with friends.
Sure. And you're quite an active person. Have you been running around the local area? Is that something you've been doing?
Yeah, I sort of been taking part in sort of a competition we set up with a few mates, and I think we ran in total. It finished yesterday, and we ran I think 865 kilometers sort of
Oh,
as a
wow.
collective. So yeah, that's been good fun.
That's a lot more than me. I mean, I've been doing a bit of watering and a bit of mowing of the lawn, but not those kind of distances. And also, obviously, as a keen cricketer, both of us actually, isn't it? We're going to miss that this summer as well. Have you been doing any of that? Have you been bowling at your brother or anything like that?
Yeah, lots of indoor cricket. Recently, kind of smashed a painting, which Mum wasn't very happy about. But
Oh dear,
yeah,
right. We better not go too much further about that then.
yeah.
Mr. Millard might be in trouble. Anyway, let's move on to tonight then, and obviously this is a music event. What music have you been doing during this lockdown period?
Well, I've sort of been having weekly music lessons, which is a time that I sort of actively look forward to. I think it's a
And
great release.
who's that with? Who's your lesson with?
Mr. Reese.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it
great,
really breaks up the structure of my day, which I find sort of really nice.
fantastic. And what have you been listening to as well? Have you been trying to listen to music and trying to relax that way as well?
Yeah, I've got a Spotify account and I sort of create a playlist every month, and then sort of any song I sort of feel like I'm sort of enjoying at that point, I sort of whack it in the playlist, and then sort of at the end of the month, there's always like a real mixture because I sort of got a bit of classical, sort of bit of rap, bit of hip hop, it's sort of a big mix, and it's always keeps it sort of exciting for when I listen to it.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think it's something we've been trying to do on the Twitter feed, trying to introduce a
Hmm.
new piece of music every day, and it's something that's very personal to ourselves. I saw on Twitter, Mr. Hart has been doing a few things.
Yeah.
I think there was a fitness challenge, wasn't there? Those press ups or something. I
Uh-huh.
stopped very quickly when I saw that. But he's been talking about music, hasn't he? What's he said to you guys about music and during this time?
Yeah, so in fact, it was last Tuesday, and Mr. Hart presented a PowerPoint in Coolover about the power of music.
Right.
And I thought sort of a really interesting part of it was the video by from the Late Late Show's Carpool Karaoke by James Corden, which he interviews Paul McCartney as they
Yeah.
drive around the famous Penny Lane. And I think it's really interesting sort of to gain an understanding to the meaning behind the music, sort of
Yeah.
especially the song Let It Be, which Paul McCartney said he saw his mum say that in a dream once. So that was sort of really sort of interesting to sort of get a deeper understanding for it almost.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just necessarily the notes that you kind of perform or sing. There's always a kind of context with any music,
Yeah.
which adds importance. Yeah, and sort of obviously last term we missed. It was a very busy time for the music department when lockdown kind of happened. We managed to get the cabaret evening in, which was something I think you were part of, but
Mhm.
we missed a few things at the end of last term in the summer. Was there anything that you kind of look forward to that obviously had to be postponed because of the virus?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as part of the school choir, sort of I was positioned to be on stage at the Glyndebourne Opera House, which I was sort of course, looking forward to as
Sure.
a sort of a massive event for me and the whole music department and the whole school, really. And whilst this was unfortunately cancelled, I think it's been rescheduled for next year.
That's
So I
right.
think
Yeah,
that gives
we've
the
got.
sort of whole school a real incentive to sort of work for, and especially the choir if they're going to be on stage.
Yeah, we're booked. We're booked in for Glyndebourne next year, thankfully. So we'll just have to see how, obviously, what social distancing does. But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be able to get in March, 2021. Seems a long way away.
No,
So let's move. Let's go away from music for a second before we start the concert. Let's just talk about house and not your house, obviously. I mean Cross House at Ardingly. Um, and I saw on Twitter. I'm getting a bit more into Twitter gradually. Um, I saw there was a virtual house dinner for Cross. What happened there? How was that?
So yeah, we did indeed have a virtual house cross dinner, and I think it was a great success with almost every sort of student in the house sort of tuning in, and their parents were also encouraged to come. So we also, sort of at the end, we sort of turned on our cameras and everything, and we got to see everyone, which was really nice actually to sort of get a bit of contact with all the boys basically collectively.
And I saw
But I
some of you
think
dressed up for the occasion.
yes, the lower sixth dressed up in black tie, which was kind of a surprise for the rest of the house. They didn't know that. So when we all turned on our cameras, sort of it was quite a fun surprise. We also did a Kahoot quiz, which sort of everyone sort of participated in, including and also sort of various speeches by members of staff and other prefects.
Great. So it sounds, yeah, absolutely engaging event for everyone. And sort of with the house spirit, how are you guys sort of keeping in touch?
Yeah, I think Cross have been very good at sort of engaging with sort of house spirit and house activities. So actually, this week's a cooking-based challenge where
Yeah.
the boys must sort of cook a meal and then sort of post a photo of it onto the team's chat, and then sort of at the end of the week on Friday, so today actually, we sort of vote on whose meal's the best. Sort of you have all the pictures and you kind of vote who you want the best, and then sort of that's sort of a nice sort of way to keep the boys sort of actively engaged with one another. Bit of competitiveness, as I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
and so more music related actually. A cross Spotify playlist has been set up, meaning that any boy who has a Spotify account can sort of add to it, and then sort of these tunes have replaced Wednesday congas. So I think
Ah.
it's quite a change to go from the sort of glory that we sort of previously had on Wednesday morning to sort of heavy drum and bass by some member of Cross who sort of added it.
We're not. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm not sure we can replicate that if we come back, but we're looking at some slightly alternative congas stuff next year.
Oh, really?
But drum and bass might be a little bit difficult, but something slightly alternative is in the pipeline. But you'll have to wait until
Interesting.
September for that. Let's go to house song briefly. Obviously in the chapel again this year. The boys' houses seem to be getting stronger every year. Yeah, how was it for you and sort of helping with the coordination of that event?
Yeah, I thought it was a good event overall. I thought sort of it was perfect venue in the chapel again for the second year, and I think sort of Cross sort of did themselves proud. Whilst they weren't sort of top third, I
Yeah,
think there was glimmers of hope for the upcoming house song competition in future years, which is sort
absolutely.
of which is sort of nice because I think Cross is sort of traditionally known as sort of not the best at house song.
I think man, Mr. Reese came in, didn't he, and helped you a bit
Yeah,
just to
definitely.
G you along. Yeah, fantastic. So I think we might have a bit of that later on. Actually, I think we found some archive footage. So we might be airing that a bit later on. And let's just go just before we obviously we get towards the concert, and we've paired up the day houses, the boys' day houses. So Crosse
Yeah.
and obviously your counterparts across the way in Rhodes. There's an obvious rivalry that always is in any kind of collegiate or house system.
Hmm.
What is there a sort of relationship between the houses? Obviously, you're both day boy houses, and that must have something, a sort of sense of camaraderie between all of you.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think the rivalry is strong between sort of Crosse and Rhodes and the spirit of competition. I mean, everyone sort of knows that. But I
Yeah,
think when you boil it down, I think the strong friendships between the two houses is something which isn't seen so much as sort of. I think the boys can sort of freely go between Crosse and Rhodes. So I often see sort of Rhodes players come into Crosse for a game of pool, and then Crosse boys head over there for table football or whatever. And I think it's just this bond that they have. I think the two houses sort of have this culture of sort of friendship and sort of, I think just sort of teamwork and sort of social spirit, which is sort of really strong, which sort of bonds the two houses.
yeah, and it's a unique, isn't it? Obviously, in our school where we have, obviously we're co-ed, we also
Hmm.
have boarding and day, and so it gives you all something that is central, obviously, to
Mm.
your school sort of routine and lives, which is obviously the fact that you're in the boys' day house. Absolutely, yeah. So I think that's everything. The questions that I had. Is there anything that you had before we try and start for this concert? Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think that's all from me. I think we should get the performances going. But first, I think I need to say a few thank yous. So, firstly, thank you to all the performers for taking the time to go out your way and record your music. I think it's really appreciated by everyone that's going to watch it. Thank you for all the music teachers for your relentless sort of perseverance in teaching us through online learning. While it's sort of tough at times, I think all the teachers are getting the hang of it and sort of getting into sort of the routine of sort of playing the piano sort of through a
Mm.
computer almost. Thank you to Mr. Freer for your sort of technical wizardry and making this virtual concert happen. I mean, this could not be possible without your help. Also, big thank you goes out to sort of Miss Tate and Mr. Bennett for sort of keeping our spirits high and cool over and sort of managing 80 odd boys through a screen. I think that is a task pretty remarkable, and I think they're doing an excellent job. And finally, a massive thank you to you, Mr. Stafford, for sort of grasping all the logistics and organising such a unique event and making this concert happen. So thank you. So that's truly all from me now. So I think we should get on with the performances. So hope you enjoy.
Thank you very much, Archie, and it's great to catch up with you and hear your thoughts during this really bizarre time. As he said just there, I'd like to echo all those thanks, absolutely. And it's a big plunge that you as performers are taking to do this. So well done.
Mm.
And of course, as I said in the previous concert, it's 6 o'clock, so make sure you've got a drink and maybe some nibbles. We'll provide the music and the entertainment. Make sure you replenish yourselves, and we'll see you on the other side. And thank you again, Archie, for all your insight into this tricky time. So thanks all. Enjoy the concert, and we'll see you on the other side.
I dreamed I met a Galilean, a most amazing man. He had that look you very rarely find. the haunting, hunted kind. I asked him to say what had happened, how it all began. I asked again, he never said a word, as if he hadn't heard. And next the room was full of wild and angry men. They seemed to hate this man. They fell on him and then they disappeared again. Then I saw thousands of millions crying for this man. And then I heard them mentioning my name and leaving me the blame.
Ayo, Sean Kingston.
You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You'll have me suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. Damn all these beautiful girls. They only want to do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. See, it's not
Lullaby of birdland, that's what I always hear when you sigh. And never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a phrase how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves, Bill and Coo, when they love? That's the kind of magic music we make with our lips when we kiss. And there's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's how I cry on my pillow. If you should tell me farewell and goodbye, the lullaby of birdland whisper low. Kiss me sweet, and we'll go flying high in birdland, high in the sky up above. All because we're in love. Lullaby of birdland, that's what I always hear when you sigh. And never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a phrase how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves, Bill and Coo, when they love? That's the kind of magic music we make with our lips when we kiss. And there's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's how I cry on my pillow. If you should tell me farewell and goodbye, the lullaby of birdland whisper low. Kiss me sweet, and we'll go flying high in birdland, high in the sky up above. All because we're in love.
Well, what an amazing array of talent we have in those 2 day houses. Absolute privilege to watch them all perform. And of course, it's slightly uncharted territory. They're used to getting up and performing in house or in a concert at school, and it's very different to record yourself so in such sort of alien conditions. So thank you to all of those who took part in this evening's music. And just to echo what Archie said before as well, the sort of community spirit of these 2 houses is really, really important. And it was a great pleasure to watch again their house song performances. As you'll see, Gerald here has watched the whole event. He tunes in at 6 p.m. on Thursdays, and so should you. So we have the Ardingly YouTube channel now, the Ardingly Music, YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe to that. You'll see all the concerts and reruns of various other events on there, which is being very carefully curated by Mr. Freer. As ever, the Twitter page continues to thrive. So if you want to see updates on concerts or snippets of performances or advice or reading or other musical examples, maybe I'll ask Mr. Hart for some suggestions after his wisdom last week. But there's nothing else really to say. I just want to echo again my thanks to Mr. Bennett and Miss Tate for their support. It must be very hard coordinating 80 boys in a day house every morning, let alone virtually. So hats off to you two for your sterling work. And really, there's not very much else to say. Next Thursday, hopefully, we will have another concert ready to go for you. I will leave that as a surprise about the performance, but tune in. And really, just like last week, I'm afraid Boris Johnson hasn't taken on my slogan, but I'm going to say it again. So make sure you're keeping safe, be safe, and stay safe. We'll see you next week.